Hey everyone, so we're going to be talking today about the conflict in the Middle East and how it's escalating, it's getting worse and worse. Now, before I start this video, because I'll probably forget because doesn't really fit in anywhere, there's peace talks and it looks like there's a ceasefire at the moment. But guys, my speculation and my analysis of this situation is this is just people stalling for time while they get more ammunition and more munitions, and they can target their attack more comprehensively. So I don't think these peace talks are going anywhere. I think they're both sides just literally stalling for time. Now, what the backdrop, and I guess the main content of this video, is that the Iranians are now looking to ally or use Chinese satellite technology to target, strategic targets they've said, mainstream media is coming out and saying Israel, that the Iranians are going to use Chinese satellites to locate targets inside Israel. Israel is a tiny, tiny little slither. I can pretty much guarantee that there's enough human intelligence to identify these without satellites. So what I think these satellites are going to be used for is to identify US bases, US assets, and things that are in that region in the Middle East that can also be targeted and taken out by, long-range missiles. Just before we go on, I want to talk about some of my experience in the Middle East. So I think it was, I want to say like 2019, maybe. 2018, 2019 time. I had to go into Mosul, which is in Iraq. And at the time when I went in, Mosul had just been bombed into absolute oblivion. Now, I'd been to Mosul before it was bombed. I've spent 5 years in Iraq. And it was very strange when you go into these places and they are just rubble, absolute rubble. You can imagine now the town, wherever you live, whether it be in the UK, in the US, in New Zealand, Australia, wherever, Europe. Imagine your town. Imagine you leaving your town and then you coming back to a town you used to know, and it's just rubble. I don't mean a couple of buildings that have got holes in them and a bit of gunfire. No, the whole thing was just rubble. And something really poignant. We was in the vehicles and we was driving through because we was giving humanitarian aid and working with children, because we was doing demining, but with not demining with children. We was going out to schools, going out to groups of children, and we were showing them, all right, okay, you don't touch these sort of things. These things go kaboom and you don't touch them. We've got lots of infographic stuff. I've got them upstairs, actually. I keep saying I'm going to do a video on them. But that was our role, that was our task. So I saw two children. I can only assume they were brother and sister, two small children, about maybe 5 or 6. I think the girl was probably 6 and the boy maybe 5. So slight age difference. And they were playing them in the rubble. And they had a bottle filled with colourful water, and that was their toy. And I was just trying to. And then you come back to the United Kingdom, and it's very difficult to try and contextualize to people how other people in different parts of the world live. Once you see these things firsthand and you're not looking at them on the TV screen or looking at some pictures and people are saying they're staged and people are saying they're fake. And I'm not saying that stuff doesn't go on, because I know for a fact it does. But, what I saw, it was just 2 kids playing with a water ball. But these 2 kids, I was thinking, what future do they have? Literally, what future does this little boy and girl have? And then what we're looking at now is pretty much similar stuff could be happening very soon to the Middle East. And you're going to get thousands, hundreds of thousands of families displaced, humanitarian crisis, all this sort of stuff, guys. Right now we are living on the cusp of that, and it could happen any day. So let me go into what's been happening with Iran and China. Where are we, guys? I'll share this. I've got 2 things to share with you. So here we are, guys. So again, it's from the Jerusalem Post, so I'm going to say it's got a little bit of bias in it. Iran expands surveillance capabilities through Chinese satellite partnerships, report. Iran is strengthening its surveillance capabilities by partnering with Chinese satellite companies, raising concerns about enhanced spying on targets across Israel and the Middle East. Now, Israel, guys, as I've just said, it's a tiny little slither of land. It's not, there's enough human intelligence there to understand what is where and, where things are moving. It's this thing of the greater importance in the Middle East because the US has, and NATO, they have loads of, bases, secret locations, all dotted all over the Middle East. Now, that's what I think they're really targeting. Now that, and again, it's always the things that are not said that are more, are more telling. So if we're looking at the Iranians now using Chinese satellites to find out where these secret bases are, and by secret bases, I mean air bases, special forces bases, missile silos, anything that can directly attack Iran. So if we're looking at those, if Iran are looking for them, they're obviously looking for them for a reason, and they're going to be looking at them to target them. So that's could be the next phase of this operation. And then we've got Russia being dragged into this, Russia being dragged into this conflict. Guys, a little bit of biblical prophecy. The Bible says when Russia attacks Israel, that is pretty much it. That's the end times are coming. The end times are here. It's all the stuff in the Bible's true. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying that that's what the Bible says. But I do keep an eye on it. So now we've got the, Russia. Well, I'll give you the article. So now we've got this article here, and I'll put these in the description. Russia is being drawn deeper into the Middle East conflict. And like most things, guys, okay, the important stuff is at the bottom. So you can read it if you want. So here it says, a steady flow of Russian weapons to Iran means the United States and Israel would find themselves facing a classic security dilemma. The logic would run as follows. If Iran is getting stronger and a major clash is inevitable, surely it's better for it to happen sooner rather than later. So what they're saying there basically is, if Iran is buying all these weapons from Russia and Russia keeps, helping them with systems, long-range systems, hypersonic missiles, of course, Russia has a lot of nuclear expertise. Iran wants to get nuclear weapons. There was what was it? I'll come on to that in a second. But, what they're saying is, while Iran's getting stronger and stronger and stronger, buying more weapons, doing more training, getting more sophisticated, it makes sense. And, and if they're saying this clash is inevitable, it makes sense to strike now while Iran's weaker than it would be in the future. Now, I think guys, I want to say October, but it might be earlier. It might be November. But it was in the United States. A bill was passed. A bill went through the United States that basically said that the Iranians could not have nuclear weapons. It was very clear. It said that was like, well, let me try and guys, I'm going off the cuff here. I'm going to try and do a search for this. Hang on. You're with me for the right, guys. You're with me for the journey. What was it? Was 599. Yes. Right. Okay. So hang on. Right. I think this is it, guys. Let me just read this quickly. Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's resolution 559. You can Google this. Hey guys, I genuinely don't know what happened there. The internet cut out. I'll try and edit that bit out where it's all paused. But what we was talking about is the resolution 559, where the United States have said that under no circumstances can Iran obtain nuclear weapons. Now, let me just share this with you quickly, and I'll put this in the link in the description. Guys, if I'm saying things that it seems like I've said twice, the internet's just clicked out and I've had a whole massive drama, but I've come on, I'm going to try and re-edit this so it doesn't make, so I've not totally lost. Anyway, so this is House of Representatives, US, Resolution 559. whereas an Islamic Republic of Iran that possesses nuclear weapons would be an unacceptable threat to regional and global security. So you can read that if you want, guys, but basically this was passed, wow, 1st of November, 23. Interesting. Yeah, guys, so I'm going to close this video down now because the internet is in and out, and you guys are going to probably get a lot of jump cuts where I'm doing all sorts of weird stuff. But guys, in a nutshell, that's where I'm going to leave it. You know, you've got the escalations in Iran with them allying with China. I don't think these satellites are to target, identify targets in Israel. I think Israel's too small. It's just a little slither. I think we'll have enough human intelligence to do that. I think this is for a bigger... Guys, I'm sorry about the video cutting in and out. The internet is going absolutely wild. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to Mac to Grid. I'll try and do another video where I cover these topics again. I'll speak to you soon, guys. I'm going to Mac to Grid. You have a good night.